hope everyone's doing well on this lovely, lovely Friday. Guys, Dom,
Bloody
Josh, what's
Friday.
going on? Bloody Friday, if I might add. I'm actually, let me share my screen real quick.
Bloody Friday, mate. But it's okay. The show must go on.
The show must go on. Look, I'm not gonna be that guy. Well, you know what? I actually might just be that guy because um, I told you guys in the gray area, I'm like, well, we've gone up for a while. This is kind of the area that we should expect the rejection. And while I did call it a little bit on the early side, this is when I called that, right? I called it on the early side when we just broke in at this at this area here at 120. Now we pushed up a little bit above. It was fine. Everything was cool. People were having fun on BNB and all that good stuff. And here we are now rejecting. And as you can see over here on the right hand side, just bloody, man, just bloody. So, hopefully you avoided the bloodbath in some way, shape, or form. Honestly, I've been really kind of careful. The only thing I've done a little some degenning on BNB. It was fine, but I was quick to kind of get out of there. Um, and same thing on chain. I haven't really like made too many new plays other than DLMM and PRDN price diction. Yeah, so I mean, not much there. But yeah, bloody day. This is not the time to leave though. This is the time to pay attention, watch for entries. Honestly, this is where you game plan right here.
Well, let's game plan a little bit then. I put out a tweet earlier kind of explaining my thought process here. Can you guys tell me the last time a tariff fear was sustained to the downside?
You're right. You're right.
Never.
It's since
It,
yeah, I mean Q1 was the last time, but it's Q4 now.
the major dip we had basically every year at the start of the year that even was like the bottom of this. I think it's back in July there on your chart. Was tariff news. Every time this tariff news has happened, sometimes it's lasted for a couple days, maybe a week, if it's like drawn out. But the truth of the matter is, this tariff news has historically been a buying opportunity every single time. So, like, do we think this time's going to be any different? Trump has used this as a tactic to scare and get what he wants basically out of these deals in the past. And so, like, if you ask me, either he's bluffing or it goes into place and what the dip gets priced in a day or two, and we're back on the up and up. So that's what I would say.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, this is interesting price action here. I mean, look, as far as like targets levels, I told you guys already. Just as Dom said, stuff like this doesn't really sustain itself over the long term. We've had dips before, rips before. I mean, even go back to the last time we go on a 3 day. So like this is like abundantly clear. Even here in March, before we took off in May, we had a 16% dip, right? And right after we just went from April all the way to May, we just absolutely blasted up and we ripped it. So, there can be downside before like upside, just a little something to scare people out. But you should have seen this coming. I mean, we went up like 15% in like basically in a straight line for days on end. You can't expect that to sustain itself. We have to cool off, reload, and the levels that I'm looking at that I told you guys a few streams ago was 120 and 117. I would have loved to see it kind of consolidate in this area, then go up, but we lose 120, 117 is like my line in the sand, right? So that's my line in the sand right now. And I'm expecting us to hold above that. I wouldn't be surprised to see this like whole move just become a wick. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised. But something to scare the scare everybody out at the end of the day.
Yeah, we got 4 projects coming on today. Micro caps, we get to check them out. DLMM has been running a little bit, so I guess maybe it's a small cap now, not a micro cap. But I want to touch on one thing real quick before we start looking at some of those charts. And it's the idea of an extended prediction market season. We see the other day, Polymarket raised at a $9 billion. They got a $2 billion investment from the NYSE parent company at a $9 billion post money valuation, and Kalshi here raised $300 million at a $5 billion valuation. And notice the investors that they raised from: Sequoia, top investor; A16Z, top investor; Paradigm, and many others. So we're seeing clear appetite for prediction markets. We're seeing an uptick in popularity, officially getting higher volume than they had even at the presidential election. And so prediction markets are clearly here to stay. And I think that begs the question: if Kalshi's at a $5 billion valuation and Polymarkets is at a $9 billion valuation, what does that put up and comers at? Right. I think it leads for a lot of speculation. So when you see things at like PMX at 35 million, which, has good profit share metrics and LP, and they're kind of doing this in a different way. They have good backers. It kind of makes you think, okay, 35 mil might be a really enticing spot to get a position. Because now that we've seen these crazy raises at 5 bill, 10, 9 bill, it's like 100 mil. It doesn't sound so crazy. 200 mil doesn't sound so crazy. Quarter billion doesn't sound so crazy, because again, it's still a fraction of these big markets. So there's a lot of room for speculation, and the doors kind of open for prediction markets. And so what at first kind of looked like something that may not be here to stay seems like, it's pretty obvious now. So I would say keep eyes closely peeled for prediction markets in the whole narrative. Also, real quick, I've added a new list to my deck screener. One of my new favorite lists. It's a MetaDAO list. So I'm going to be tracking what MetaDAO launches or fundraisers for. We had a great call yesterday with Profit where I think a lot clicked. It's not for every company. Not every company wants to give away this level of control to their holders. But when you talk about ownership in a company, ownership in the what decisions these company makes, this is exactly what MetaDAO's enabled. It was a fascinating conversation. I would recommend anyone go back and listen to it if you guys have the chance. But they got Umbra to launch, which Umbra raised $155 million in fundraising. $155 million in fundraising. So absolutely impressive there. As you can see, Meta has bounced nicely, I think, from this. But keeping my eyes on this. Great platform. Really interested in how they do it. It's 130 million valuation right now. It's where Believe's at. Could Umbra top or could Meta top Believe? Potentially. So interesting thoughts there. That being said, you guys want to go over some charts real quick, or I see someone had a tweet up, maybe?
Yeah, just one thing I wanted to mention on the prediction market wave. You see this picture is like perfect for where we are in the stream of time when it comes to prediction markets, not only from a global like investment standpoint, like, obviously the world kind of sees that, well, prediction markets can more accurately price in the truth, right? Like, and this says, this is more so like Polymarket. It's more that's what this picture is emphasizing, but it's really just prediction markets overall. So I think it's just we've seen over these last few days, prediction markets have been kind of popping, and to see MetaDAO kind of include prediction markets in terms of their decision markets, that's also something that is a pretty useful use case. PNP very undervalued. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I'm watching PNP still. I mean, I think they have, what it takes. I need to see like, their user metrics. I want to see. I know the dev, and go back and listen to that stream, has a few things that he's working on that could be pretty huge for PNP. So definitely not one that you want to count out. ICM and prediction markets are the Q4 trade. I'm trying to tell you.
Do we have
Let's
DLLM up?
Yeah,
we do. Slabs is in, but let's hit the DLM chart real quick. And before each guest, we'll throw up their chart just so everyone knows the symbols and context.
DLMM. Actually, let me go to the daily on this real quick. The daily really puts this into
The
perspective.
chart.
So far, this is kind of coming in as a support level, about like 520K market cap. And as you can see, we're actually like bouncing off that area quite well off of the daily. So, when you look on the 8 hour, it just kind of becomes even more apparent. So DLMM, gosh, that's a tongue twister, is actually looks pretty good from a chart perspective,
Nice pullback
and
here.
excited to
Yeah.
have this conversation. Yeah, nice pullback to get involved. Good area to
All
get
right.
involved
I'll
here.
bring up Slabs. Welcome, Slabs. How you doing?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah. Welcome.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys bringing me on here, and hopefully this is the first of many conversations we have regarding some updates on the project. So again, thanks so much for having us.
Love it, man. We're glad you guys could get on here.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, it's definitely been a whirlwind of a week, and
So
I appreciate the coverage you guys have given us and the support you guys have shown. So it's been nothing but positive.
no, of course. I mean, good products speak for themselves, right? And I think that's what we like to do. We just like to kind of put eyes on really great products that are being built. So, I mean, with that in mind, the best place to start when it comes to digging into projects is oftentimes a founder. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, what kind of brought you to DLMM.
Yeah, totally. So my first crypto cycle was back in 2017, but it wasn't until the 2020 DeFi summer, the 2021 cycle, where I started really diving deep into LPing, on projects like Uniswap, PancakeSwap, Wan Chain. If anyone remembers that one, I was big over there. But so that's kind of where I got my first chops and understanding, kind of what that looks like, how much yield can be earned, like seeing multiple 100% returns yearly just from providing liquidity, right? And then this cycle, before the Arbitrum airdrop came out, that's where I was kind of starting around projects like Camelot Dex, if you guys are familiar with that. But then once the cycle kind of pivoted to Solana is the retail chain, or the kind of the new up and coming chain of the cycle. That's where I kind of fell in love with Meteora and their tech stack. Obviously, everyone on Solana probably knows just kind of how amazing and how insane their growth has been so far. And so that's kind of where DLMM, or Dynamic Liquidity Market Makers, came from, right? Is my love for finding out how much, or how profitable and how much yield consistently you can make on different DeFi protocols like that.
Nice. So you've had this interest, you had this experience before with kind of experimenting with liquidity. So tell us a little bit more about the solution that you provide through DLMM, and kind of walk us through. I know this could be a sort of tricky area for some, but we definitely want to break it down in a way that everyone can understand. But definitely tell us a little bit about you guys' solution.
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, there's definitely a shorter term vision and a longer term vision that we have for the project. But just as an overview, or a quick elevator, it's a DeFi centric hedge fund, right? With an emphasis on liquidity provision. And the goal is to become one of the fastest growing self-financing funds in the world, right? And starting with essentially $0, or you could say our $5,000 liquidity pool that we initially created on our own. We've grown that to over $80,000 in assets under management as of today, which we haven't announced yet that that's what we just reached. But and that's one of the fun things too, is like you guys were mentioning, the kind of we're on a little bit of a dip right now. I feel like we're one of the few projects that up or down price wise, we're relatively price agnostic, because our treasury grows even as the price goes down, right? So at all-time highs of our token, we had about a $75,000 treasury. Currently, about 40% off of all-time highs, we have an $80,000 treasury, right? So we gained an extra 13% in assets on a decrease in price. So that's why we're price agnostic. Is obviously we want the chart to go as high as possible for investors, but in terms of a long-term strategy, it's volume that matters for growing that over time. But then I guess just real quick, what I'd say is kind of the ethos of DLMM is supporting DeFi and supporting projects and people building in DeFi, right? And so the goal is to use our liquidity across the board to help fund other projects, whether that's just by directly adding to their liquidity pools and bolstering their liquidity there, or like, for example, our partnership with Algon the other day is pretty mutually beneficial. We're adding $5,000 in assets to their pools, to their copy trading strategy. They're earning a yield off of our funds. We're earning a yield off of their strategy. And at the same time, we're helping each other in this sort of hyper growth stage. So kind of finding partnerships and projects that we align with, again, mainly DeFi focused, is kind of the goal to find a mutually beneficial strategies across the board.
Nice. So I kind of want to I want to dial in on this treasury because I think this is the most the most interesting part of it. You guys started with 5,000. Was that self-funded? And well, yeah. Let me just ask that. Is that self-funded or?
Yeah, so that was just right out of my own pocket, and again, that wasn't put into the treasury. It was just the initial liquidity pool because we didn't launch with like Pump Fund or Bond Fund. We used something called RevShare, which essentially they just gave us the code for our volume tax, and then we self-funded the actual liquidity pool. So it wasn't like a bonding curve or anything like that that you see on these other launch pads. And that's allowed us to bring in also like another revenue stream because just off of that pool we created, I think we've earned $4,000 or $5,000 of those fees. And that's not even counting the 3% volume tax, right? So just another way we can bring in revenue there as well. That's sometimes underlooked.
Got it. So, and then on top of that, you mentioned 80K as of today, and that's not announced yet. So that's alpha on our screen, right?
Absolutely. And one other thing, then, I definitely want to get into a little bit later. So it's $80,000, not including the 2.5% DLMM supply that we purchased back about a month ago because we just purchased it off the open market. We have a sort of a buyback program that I could talk about for like an hour, so I'll definitely try to be brief with it. But like essentially the way that I believe our price speculation keys in on like, okay, how much do we have in assets under management? What is the liquidity pool value? And how much have we bought back directly into the liquidity pool? There's a bit of an algorithm you can put into finding like how you should value this business. And then obviously multiply by some sort of like future earnings or like how you value a business, right? Like what's their PDE ratio, that sort of thing. And so we made our buybacks at strategic levels where we feel that our token was fundamentally undervalued based on the price of our token and our assets under management, right? And so we purchased about 2.5% back, around like 100K, 120K market cap. And I have not been including that in the value of our treasury because I feel like, okay, we did a 10x or a 7x or 6x on that. Like that's like $16,000, $18,000 in added value that we have. But it's like we weren't quite earning a yield on those tokens. So it felt disingenuous to say, oh, we have a $100,000 treasury if you include the price appreciation of our tokens. So we've just been valuing our tokens at what did we pay for them, which is about $3,000, even though today they're worth about 18,000 or so.
Got it. Okay, cool. So I want to run through the next few things rather quickly because we got about 10 minutes left. So let's talk about three things. I want to talk about the sources of your revenue stream, right? Like the different places where you source liquidity and do the yield generation. I want to talk about lean into a little bit on the buybacks. And then lastly, like where you guys are taking this. I want to hit those three things in the next 10 minutes. So however you want to start.
Gotcha. So I'll go over the strategies real quick because that's pretty simple. Right now we're running 6 different strategies. Obviously we're looking to continue to expand and diversify that. But right now I feel pretty comfortable compounding these ones. So obviously Meteora DLMM on like kind of mid cap tokens is what we're one of our hot wallets is focused on. Then we have more of a majors LP on HawkFi, if anyone's familiar with that. They have a concentrated liquidity pools that we've been utilizing for mainly like Solana USDC or like JLP USDC or JLP Solana pools. We have Project X on Hyper EVM, which we're farming like Hype USDT, K Hype USDT, which is allowing us to dual farm Project X airdrop, the Kinetic airdrop. Also, I guess I should mention is the Hawkfi also is allowing us to farm dual points and Meteora points and their own Hawkfi points. So we're farming like, I believe, 4 airdrops just between those 2 different platforms we're on. And then the other 3 strategies would be, we just briefly put a little bit of funds on BSC for Pancake Swap because the volume was just insane over there. So we're not going to miss out on that. And then we just announced the Algon copy trading strategy, which we added the $5,000 to that just a couple days ago. And then we also just announced how we're leaning into the prediction markets on PMX, because I think that's going to be one of the super underrated ways to earn essentially a risk-free yield, because it's
1,000%.
Because you're getting all of the funds back, right? So there's no impermanent loss. Maybe the yield might not be as insane as some of the runners you'd see on like the DLMM strategies and whatnot, but I think from a risk-free yield standpoint, it's going to be huge. Obviously, we're waiting for them to migrate their pools, funny enough, from DAMM to DLMM pools, ironically, but so we're waiting for their migration there, which should be kind of the go ahead to really start aggressively funding some of their pools. So those would be the 6 main strategies we're running at.
I think Dom wanted to interject real quick.
Yeah, I just have to ask, because these are a lot of different strategies against across a lot of different protocols. Is this you alone kind of doing this, or do you have a whole team that's helping out with specific aspects?
Gotcha. Yeah. So I'm managing, I would obviously say, a majority of the funds, but we do have 3 other fund managers. I guess one strategy that I didn't mention is we also have like a trench liquidity protocol that we're kind of bouncing around, where it's essentially just a trench hot wallet that's run by like one of the best traders I know. It's a pretty small portion of our funds. It's like $2,000, but they've already earned like literally 200% returns on that wallet alone. It's kind of insane, but that's neither here nor there. We have 3 different fund managers outside of me. One of them running the prediction markets, one of them was running the Binance, and then the other one, like I said, was running the Trench hot wallet.
We'd love to have them on stream, that trader, by the way, if that can be arranged. We'll talk about that off.
Absolutely. He said that he's willing to hop on. I just figured it was a little short notice for him to get on this, and obviously we're kind of short on time too. So yeah, I'm sure he'd love to pop on.
All good. That's crazy.
Okay.
We love the PMX vertical. I think, like you said, there's no impermanent loss, so the returns might be smaller, but you can really size in on that, and you don't have to worry about much. So love that.
So yeah, I guess we'll let you keep cooking. You told us about the strategies. Now I guess I think the next thing was like the burns.
Gotcha. Yeah. So far off of obviously it's hard to manage or hard to exactly say, okay, like when we hit these hyper growth stages where we basically doubled our treasury or 60% increase to our treasury in like a couple days, it's hard to say like, oh, we're earning a 2% weekly or 3% weekly on our assets, right? So when we insanely increase the treasury, there's going to be a slow lag of like what the actual returns look like. But to date, we've earned 13,500 give or take in profitable yield, and then we've burnt 100% of that, which was about 11.1% of the token supply so far. So that puts our like circulating supply with the 10% team lockup at like what is that, like 79% circulating supply. So we definitely think that the supply shock will begin to kind of ramp up here as we keep moving on, which is awesome. And yeah, like the actual nominal value of the burns has definitely been increasing as our treasury has been increasing, right? Like yesterday we did 355 in burns. Today we did another 250 in burns versus like, I think last week we were averaging, $100, 150, that sort of thing. So definitely seeing the nominal burns increasing, which is awesome, because obviously all of that money goes directly into the LP from the buyback, right?
Very nice. That's the part that I'm very interested in, deflationary tokenomics. That's like what I've studied for a very long time, and I think you guys, so far from what I understand in the market right now, are the closest probably to a sort of like supply shock when it comes to like the imbalance between or the mechanics between demand and supply that you guys have going on. So huge. One question I wanted to ask you about was, Well, two. Will you start a vault?
Mhm.
Number one, and number two, what do you plan on doing with the supply that you have? Is there any way that, like, are you going to be able to maybe stick that and stake it in a vault or something like that? Or tell me a little bit
What do
about
you say
that.
is the supply that you have? You mean the holders of the token or the supplies that we have? Because I do have an announcement on the supply
The
that
supply
we
that
have. But sorry, go ahead.
the supply that you have. Yeah, you said you have an announcement, so I'll let you reveal what you
Exactly.
can.
So yesterday, we actually put 1% of our supply, along with about 11.5 Solana, into a DLMM pool for DLMM. So say that 10 times fast, right? But so we basically added another like 10% to the liquidity, like $8,000, $9,000 to our liquidity pool. And the goal here is to give a bit of a price floor, right? So we put the 11 Solana in. So if the price were to dip down, it's an extended range. So like I think 30% down, 120%, 150% upwards. So we'll be basically DCAing into our own token if the price dips, and we'll be earning fees both ways if it goes up or down, right? And then what we're doing here is basically trying to earn an additional yield on the tokens we bought back, because like I said before, I haven't been calculating that into the treasury because it felt disingenuous if I wasn't earning a yield on it. But now I feel more comfortable to say, okay, we actually do have almost $100,000 in assets that we can earn a yield on, because just yesterday we earned 360. It hasn't even been 24 hours. We've earned $360 off of the pool that we opened yesterday, right? So it's like a 4%, almost 5. It says, I'm actually looking at it right now, 4.7%, 24-hour fee to TVL, right? So like definitely cooking in that. And one thing that I'm curious to see, and so we're waiting to do the actual burns from this, is one, half of the fees we're earning in this are our own tokens. So we're obviously going to burn that side of it. But then the question is, okay, if we go out of range to the upside on this pool, we would likely have to buy back then with the Solana that we've DCA'd into. That's full amount. So I'm very curious to see what the actual outcome of this new pool that we started looks like, because it could be an insane amount of volume added from, or sorry, not volume, an insane amount of buyback pressure from us as we DCA in to our own token and then buy back as well. So it's definitely an interesting one.
Got it.
I was definitely really excited. I've been keeping it under wraps kind of for this show. I was hoping to kind of announce that because it's a pretty big jump in our
That's
TVL,
awesome.
I guess you could say.
That's awesome. More alpha for the boys. You're welcome. Dom, go ahead.
And then
Yes.
real quick on the copy trading strategy, if you had another question about that, we can do. If not, we can
Go
talk
ahead.
about the
Keep
copy trading.
going. I got a question after.
Gotcha. So for the copy trading element or like a vault, definitely something we're heavily looking into. There's just a lot of factors in there, right? So one being we have a lot of different strategies. So, okay, do you go with 6 different vaults where you can individually copy our strategies, right? But depending on which ones return the most, or do you factor in just one cross the board yield, right? And obviously what I've been saying since day one is the true best way to take advantage of our yield is simply buy the token, right? Because at the end of the day, whatever price you buy our token at, I can guarantee that over the next month, 2 months, 6 months, year, 2 years, we will be buying back at a higher price than you bought back in, right? As we continue to just do our daily burns, we've already bought back at 1 million market cap. We bought back at 800,000 market cap. We bought back at 900,000 market cap, right? So it's like we're price agnostic. We're doing the buybacks at whatever price we can, because again, it just adds every single day, right? But we do want to find a way to bring in more assets under management, right? Like the ALG guys have found a way to earn an extra yield for themselves by taking a cut from the assets under management that they're providing, as they should, right? And we definitely want to look into a similar strategy. But truly, it comes down to one: how do we do it, right? Like, so what is the actual structure of the vaults? And then two, we want to have a little bit more data on which strategies are best performing to include them in the vaults, right? So like we've only been live for less than 2 months, and while the returns have definitely spoke for themselves, we definitely want to be very data focused and data heavy, where we can prove, okay, we're not taking other people's money into here and exposing them to too high of risks, right? Like it's one thing to manage the treasury yourself, but also manage other people's money, kind of adds another factor, right? So we want to make sure we're doing everything, by the book and as straightforward as possible. And then also, obviously, there's like smart contract risks and all that stuff as well. So we want to make sure we're doing it, by the book.
Briefly before you wrap,
Mhm.
one idea that I've been really interested in is the question of how can you grow assets under management quick, right? That's one way to, compound and grow this treasury rapidly is just simply growing the underlying assets under management. Do you have any plans to go out and, talk to family offices, funds, people who are willing to put money into to grow this AUM, or has that been a thought across your mind?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of how I've been doing it behind closed doors so far, is just individually pitching it myself to, whales, to people who I know have the vision of, okay, well, we'll invest, $3,000 to buy 1% of your product. And, that volume, again, like the fastest way to grow our treasury is going to be based on volume, right? Like there is a compounding aspect that we haven't been focusing on too much, because at these levels, I find that burns are more effective than compounding the treasury, just because every dollar right now at the lower market caps means a lot more. But as we continue to grow the treasury, into 6 figures and eventually 7 figures, right? There is currently it's a 10% split, where we would be about 10% compounding of the profits into the treasury to keep that compound or that growing. But there's always subject to change, right? So if we decide, okay, well, we'd rather have about 20% compounding, 30% compounding, or again, just focus fully on the burn. So there definitely is a strategy there, but truly it comes down to marketing as much as we can, because the more people that talk about DLMM, the more people price speculate on DLMM, and the more volume comes in. And again, up or down, we benefit from it.
Nice.
And the floor raises, right? And that's the cool thing I think is the greatest, is like oftentimes as tokens decrease in price, there really isn't like a new floor. Sometimes when we decrease in price, our floor raises because our assets go up. So
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, we got to go to the next one, Slabs, but I actually think you crushed. I want to talk to you more in the DMs after this too, because I know MCG's got a few ideas, but this is super interesting. Maybe have to have you back on for a longer form conversation.
Absolutely. Always the door's always open, guys, and I appreciate everything you guys have done so far, and looking forward to seeing where we go with this.
Thanks,
Let's go. You're the
Slabs.
man.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, bro. Appreciate you. Man, y'all know how much I love DLMM. But
Sick combo.
Crush it. I think he crushed that. Definitely need to have a more long form convo to dig into everything. But moving on to the next one here, Fast AI. Chart has been kind of like on the uptick here since the beginning of September, and it just kind of crossed this key area. I mean, look, charting on microcaps, it is what it is. It's charting on microcaps is always tricky. But what the chart is saying right now area. So we'll see what the project is doing and what the team is doing here, and kind of see if that justifies higher prices, right? And that's really the aim of these interviews, is to quickly kind of see, is there a potential here? So let's dig into it. Fast AI, welcome.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We definitely can.
Yeah, hello. First of all, thank you for having us here today. I'm a little excited, and he had such a great speech, and I'm more excited now. So forgive me if I do some mistakes.
Don't worry.
Today, as you know, I'll be talking about our team, our product, our token utilities, and a little bit about our roadmap. I also sent a link to private chat.
Got it.
We can start by that video on that
I got
post.
it up. Oh, okay.
All right, start with this video.
It's a short video, but
Let's do it.
yeah.
Oh, nice. You guys are on the App Store already.
Yeah. And also we are building for Android too, but the iOS was our like first thing to do. So I'd like to start with our team. We are a core team of 4 people, and my name is Lucas. I am one of the co-founders, one of the 2 co-founders, and I also lead AI and web development. But I'd like to call myself a developer more than a co-founder because I like developing more since I am studying computer science. And our founder, basically, his name is Utku Kaya, and probably you know him from X. He's kind of famous now because of the Fesh. Uh, and the journey for Fesh AI actually started back in 2023 at Solana Hacker House event in Istanbul, where my partner Utku, uh, who introduced the idea of our very first product, and also we showed a very basic local prototype too. And as you have already seen from the video, Fesh AI is not just an idea now; it's like a living truth. We can say. So if we come to what is Fesh AI, it's it's in one sentence AI powered fashion assistant that helps users to choose what to wear or to get like feedback from their outfit of the day. Like you basically send your outfit and the AI assistant will give you some reply about how you look or how you can make your looks better uh, with some improvements. I mean, it will tell you what to wear with your skirt or your pants. Uh, as I've said, we are building for Android too, but our first thing to do was iOS because iOS is kind of easier than Android. And also we have website part 2. On the application side, we also have try on feature available currently, and we are working on a big update soon. It will be on App Store soon. Now we finished developing part and we are testing it. I also send another link. It can be opened. Yeah. On the other hand, using the website, people can try on feature and also our newest update, which is on the screen currently, the prediction market, which what cool about this is we are using our own token, and we this is only beta version, but despite being in beta version, we are in contact with 2 fashion professionals to get market ideas for our prediction market, because if you scroll down you'll see some kind of a joke is LeBron retiring, uh, bec- because it's just beta, and I'd like to put some funny things over there. And like being in a contact with 2 professionals is making us excited a lot. And this website is actually like one of our token utilities because it can be only played with Fash token, and the new markets will be opened constantly based on unique data that will come from our application in the phone, in the iOS, and we will be like making decisions with those professionals to open markets. And to ensure reliability within our community and application and also the market side, we will conduct regular buybacks, regular Fash buybacks, using the revenue that will be generated from our data solutions and partnerships, because we are I'll talk about it in the roadmap, but we will be selling those data to companies so that they can like build ads according to those datas. And with that, furthermore, Web3 users will be able to earn Fash token based on their activities and active contributions to platform and data sources. But these things won't happen overnight. So these are all in our roadmaps. And if you have any questions, by the way, you can
Yeah, let
always
me
ask.
jump in here real quick. So you started off as this fashion app in 2024. It looks like, based on
Yeah.
on this tweet right here, or 2023. He first presented at a Salon Hacker House.
Yes.
How did you guys transition from fashion to prediction markets? These are two very different things.
Yeah, exactly. Like we were thinking about getting some more utility into our token, and we saw prediction market is a great idea to do that, because we have our token, and in the fashion area there is no such prediction market. And we said, why not we make one, because prediction market is cool and fashion is all we love, so we can mix those ideas together, and this came out.
Got you.
And
So
so, no, go ahead, Dom.
chill. You can spit, bro.
I was just gonna say, so um what are you guys building towards? So you have, like, is the fashion side of things still, is that still humming along, or are you completely focused on prediction markets now?
No, actually, prediction market is just one of our fingers, I can say. Like, the fashion is what we are based on, actually. And in our future plans, which I will be talking about in a minute, they will they will be mixed in the future, because from the data that is coming from our app will be sold to companies to help companies build advertisements for their users, or for people, actually. And actually, with this data and with the professionals, we will be creating prediction markets, and this will help us to stay connected between web 2 and web 3 at some point.
Got it. And how has the reception been with both your fashion side and your prediction market side? How many users are you having? And then also, I want to kind of like get into, but how has the user growth?
Can you repeat that, please?
How has the user growth been so far with both products, the fashion side and the prediction markets?
Mhm. Prediction market is so new. Actually, you saw a bump on our chart, which happened because of prediction market. So you can actually see the date of prediction market going on live. But with the application part and fashion part, we have more than 2,000 downloads, like 2,000 unique downloads on App Store. So we will be continuing to grow the prediction market with the fashion part along the way.
Maybe we could touch on your token real quick. What's the reason you guys have a token? Obviously, you can spend it here on the prediction market to make trades or predictions, I guess. Maybe tell us some utility surrounding your token.
Of course. We also have another Tryon feature, which is tryon.fashai.app. Like, basically, you can just change market with Tryon, which is one of our other token utility. So we are aiming to build a web version of our application, which will be mostly for Web3 users. And currently, our application uh, does not have any Web3 part, but in the web part we have Web3. So we are building our application's web version, which will have Web3 support. So we will be like connecting Web3 users into an application that normally Web2 users use.
Got it.
And in the web version of our application, users will be using our token to get replies from AI assistants, or posting socials, which which is an update that is coming soon to application site. Yeah.
And so, what do you feel like in terms of, this is a really good question here from Quant in the audience. Shout out to everyone here from YouTube, by the way. How do you guys compare to Fitcoin, and what is your
Mhm.
competitive advantage over them? So, there's several competitors you
Yeah.
guys have. How do you distinguish yourself?
Yeah. Actually, they had such a great success on the way, and they filled the area very good. Like they are really successful, and actually we are not like in a war or in a comparison. We saw them as like friend, and uh, our, how can I say, our main goal is to focus on fashion part more than just being a outfit application, I can say. And maybe in the future we can work together. It's also an opportunity. I don't know if they will want or not. uh, and also we have a social part which users will have a chance to become influencers at some point using Web3 or using our application. So we have a difference than the
Can you
Fitcoin.
give me
Got
an
it.
idea of the fashion industry as a whole? Is it rapidly growing? Is it kind of slowing down? Is it like, give me an idea of how big that industry is, the market you're trying to tackle.
Yeah. uh, I can say that as long as the woman is alive, the fashion industry will grow because yeah, it is based on women, and of course we also love fashion, but they are like the head of fashion, let's say.
Yeah, yeah. Well
Got it.
put. Well put.
Okay. Um,
Awesome.
I
What
think
about
one thing I
roadmap?
wanted to ask, yeah, before we get to roadmap, I guess this kind of actually like links in with the roadmap. Like, tell us a little bit about the revenue that you guys have. Like, how are you guys making money? Are you making money? And how what are you guys building out in terms of your roadmap that can kind of help you grow that, or tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, of course. Currently we are not making like an active money. We only have a 2.5 percentage from our prediction market, but other than that we are not making money currently. But in our roadmap, as I've said, we will be selling data to companies or maybe some advertisement companies directly, instead of like fashion companies. And with along with that, we will initiate marketing on TikTok to boost our user content, which will give us more data to use. So actually, it's like a chain reaction. When you initiate marketing, it will give you some more data. When you have more data, you can have some more power, let's say. And also, like, building the web version of our application, the Web3 users will enter our uh, community faster than now, so we will also make money from there. But we will not use this money only for ourselves. As I said, we will do like regularly buybacks of Fash, and also the Web3 users will earn Fash because the prediction market can make them money.
All right. Well, I think that's our time here. So we appreciate you coming on, Fash, giving us an idea of what you're building.
Yeah.
Hopefully we see more of you on the feed and you guys keep crushing.
Thank you so much. Have a great
Thank
day.
you, brother.
See
Thanks,
you guys.
Vash. Take care.
All right. Yeah. Interesting that they're doing prediction markets and fashion, a little bit of both. But
Yeah, definitely. I think feedback generally is like you really gotta hone in and figure out what you're focused on. Because
Yeah.
product market fit.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway. We didn't really find a link between fashion and prediction markets,
no.
but yeah, I mean, look,
Maybe there is though,
well,
and they're gonna find it. Who knows?
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
who knows, right? but definitely want to hone in on the messaging on that one.
Awesome.
So who do we have coming up next?
I think David, right? Is this David? I believe. David, are you next? I think you're next.
Hi, Jim, everyone. How's it going?
G-
Nice to be here.
GM.
What's up, David?
Awesome.
This
Yeah,
is
I'm
EduLearn.
chill. Yes,
No, you're
this is
David.
EduLearn. Yeah.
That's chill. Awesome. But David, maybe quickly introduce us
I
to.
am. Okay.
Oh,
I guess.
hey, your connection's a little spotty.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Maybe kick us off with a little introduction, David. Who are you? What are you building? And why should we be excited?
Okay. So basically, yeah, like my name already. My name is David, and I've been a software engineer for about 6 years now. Working as a freelance developer, and also I've worked at a few Web2 and Web3 startups. I got into Web3 around 2022, working at a Web3 startup as a front-end engineer. IsItSafe.io. Also, last year around this time, I got into EdTech. Started working on a startup. Although both of these startups didn't go so far, and I've kind of used the failure stories or the failure that I had on those two ones, to kind of basically help me in building EduLearn and making it into what we want it to be. So a tool I wanted to use in my uni. Basically, I don't really go to classes, and I don't really like reading long textbooks and stuff. So I basically just wanted to build this all-round AI tool that helps me learn when it comes to time of exams. And I started off building that for a hackathon. It was the EduChange Semester 3 hackathon. And out of 1,500 projects, we got selected top 10. And since then, since that first version of the app, it's just been evolving, and that's what we have now. Yeah, so that's just the introduction.
Maybe I'm gonna check out this website. Maybe tell us a little bit about the app, what it kind of unlocks for users. Obviously, it seems like it's kind of geared towards studying and learning stuff. Maybe tell us the unlocks here and what benefits it has.
All right. Basically, EduLearn is an incentivized Web3 AI study companion. It makes learning Web3 feel fun, and also upskilling feel more like less than a chore, less of a chore. Basically, we started off as like a general learning kind of tool, but now it's more focused on Web3. I can see you're trying to open up. That's the version 1. We've kind of pivoted from that version to our new version, which I'm going to screen share in a bit, and it's more focused on Web3 learning Web3. And what we kind of learned from our V1 here is users felt more motivated to learn new things when they had incentives attached to every learning goal. So basically, we noticed that there was a lot of activity on the app when it comes to like times where, okay, we have a price pool, like a $90 price pool, and then like users are like trying to get a lot of XP, learning new things, and trying to compete for that prize pool. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to use that same strategy we got on our V1 to onboard like the next million users and builders into crypto, and also provide proof of work certificates for people who are interested in getting jobs and opportunities in Web3.
I like the proof of work certificates. I think that should be much more normalized. We see the rate of people going to college actually is decreasing. And so having these certificates for passing exams, passing courses, I think is going to be very valuable going forward. So, I'm interested that you
Definitely,
guys are
man.
doing that. But yeah,
Definitely.
tell us, maybe screen share it looks like you've been cooking something up. Have you shared the new version of the app yet or no?
Yeah, it's live, but it's on beta though. We already on I don't know. I think okay, hold on a second. Let me stop sharing and share again. I think I have to share my whole window. Uh okay.
It was showing just there a second ago.
Okay, yeah, it was kind of collapse in a
Sorry,
little
Fabian.
bit. So okay, yeah. Uh, so we've been building this new version for about like 2 months. Like I mentioned, we shipped our version one, and we had about like 950 users on that, and it kind of like helped us build like with a lot of feedback that we got from our users. What do they really want? And we've kind of like just used that feedback that we got to build a way better version, to build a way better app that would help us like get a lot of more users into our platform, and like even more token utilities and all of that. So yeah, this is the version 2. It's currently almost ready for App Store. They've already passed the green flag, but we're just waiting for the launch day. And then for Play Store, it's almost the same thing. We're ready for production. We're just trying to build a lot of hype on the launch so we could have a really great launch here.
Yeah, this is really interesting. So you're focused on Web3 right now for the most part.
Yeah, we're focused on Web3.
How do you integrate something like EDU Learn into like a Coin Market Cap or a um, just any of these platforms where people are going to look for information, look for statistics? How do you implement EDU Learn into these platforms to really gain a huge audience? Like, what's your goal, your go to market with that?
All right. Basically, we're focused on like the global scale acquisition. Um, a lot of people. Okay, one thing I would say, like a lot of people don't really know that much about crypto and Web3. Sorry, if I could get you right, your question is about go-to-market strategy. Yeah.
Yeah, how do you guys plan to go to market and really grow that audience and user base?
Okay, sure. So basically, we're trying to like what I said about people not knowing so much about crypto. We're trying to like demystify crypto with like a very fun and engaging platform. Um, Basically, doing a lot of outreaches to like a mainstream audience, because I've been a huge preacher of mainstream consumer apps. And then aside from that, like global scale acquisition, we want to be able to help because people are really interested in getting skills as long as it helps them earn money. So like people are really interested in just getting skills, and in Web3 the opportunities are way more higher, and then getting to learn those skills for free, and not so much for free, but also getting to earn and kind of stand a chance at getting those opportunities is what we're focused on, and just basically marketing ourselves in that aspect.
So you said not necessarily for free. I see you can start for free there. What are your what prices? I see a pricing tab up there. What are your prices and how are you guys making money? Are you pre-revenue at this point?
Currently, yeah, we're pre-revenue, although we're planning to definitely get a lot more. We're going planning to get a lot more revenue with our launch. Like I mentioned, we're trying to get a lot of traction. So basically, for the monthly free plan, they just have access to a few um, credits and a few quizzes. So it just works the same way any other most apps work, where your rate's limited if you're not a premium user. So the $5 per month is a pretty good price for the value that they would be getting. So we're also going to do partnerships with projects who would like want to onboard new how do I say employees, or like let's say for example ambassadors. So like getting a $5 per month for like building your skills, and then getting these proof of work that can help you kind of stand a chance at that job is what we're projecting here. So
Okay, cool. Well, you're talking about this rollout you guys are working on. What's the roadmap? Maybe give us an idea of your broader roadmap, a year in advance for the next year per se.
okay, like I mentioned, we're just trying to build a lot of hype, and we hope to get a lot of momentum from our launch day. So that launch, from there on, we for Q4 2025, we're planning on getting a lot of users, between 10,000 users monthly active users to about 30,000 monthly active users, and we plan on just scaling that number. And I don't think you've asked me about the token utility here, and basically,
Haven't.
we're just planning on. All right, I'll get to that. So, like, we're just planning on like growing our users, and then like just becoming that go-to platform for learning. And then like you want to get into or learn a new skill, you just come here, and then like you have a broader opportunity when it comes to getting a skill in Web3, and then uh yeah, getting to upskill your career or upgrade your career, sorry.
I know you mentioned, the 10 to 30,000 daily active users. You
No,
said
monthly.
that was project. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, monthly active users. Was
Yeah.
that was that from where you are now, or um, or is that more projection? And where's that number coming from?
Yeah, that's more of projection. So like we had a pretty engaging platform. I think what we just lacked at the point where we had the V1 was the marketing. We had about like 900 plus users, like I mentioned, and about like half of them were like month. I think the average was about 53% to 56% per month, for each month. So like the platform was really engaging and all. And so that projection is based off of the current, how do I say it? Like a lot of new things are coming in Web3, and we're trying to capitalize on that, on these new metas that are coming up to onboard more people. Like for example, the way Pump Fund does it with bringing more people into Web3 by projecting that, oh, as a creator you can earn fees from launching a token. So we're kind of trying to do the same thing for the consumer, mainstream consumer market, by just creating this tool or platform where you can learn. And then I feel in time it's just going to market itself. Aside from even just pushing ourselves on X, we're going to do a lot of campaigns on TikTok, work with a lot of influencers. They're going to get people more interested in Web3. And like I mentioned, our goal is to get the next 1 million users and builders in Web3.
Got it. Got it. Sounds good. Um, Anything else you guys had that you wanted to dig into here? I love the platform.
Uh,
We talked a little bit about token utility, your revenue. Um,
Yeah, I
was there
see you're
something else?
part
Yeah.
of
yeah,
Super Team. I think Super Team NG. Is that Super Team Nigeria?
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
How
Super
big
Team.
is that community, and like talk about that community real quick.
All right, all right. Super Team Nigeria is the biggest tech community. I would say the biggest tech community, one of the biggest tech communities in Africa, and it's like under Super Team. I guess you'd be able to know that, and we're like one of the biggest super teams also, like in terms of follower count, in terms of active members, and yeah, a lot of KPIs. And just recently we're able to hit, I think, about 1 million in GDP. Yeah, so that's about Super Team NG. And I hadn't talked about the token utility yet though, but yeah, currently a member of the Super Team Nigeria. They've been helping us with when it comes to advising like behind the scenes. And even though we haven't been able to get them like to shill us or talk about us yet, where we've been time to time having talks with the product team. So I just wanted to show a few features here for our token utility. So like I showed, the way things work is based on credits. So for users who maybe are not able to afford the $5 per month, we kind of have in-app purchases in form of burn 1,000 EDLN and get 3 credits. I just want to show a quick demo here. So users get a in-app wallet attached to their account. You can see here, I can look up this wallet here. I can also buy the EDLN tokens with some SOL. I'll just try to get some here. Then view the SOL scan. I hope I have enough gas though. Okay, yeah, I can then view this on SOL scan. Uh, so you see, I got a few EduLearn tokens. Okay, yeah, I got some tokens for 239
Oh,
EDLN.
nice. You bought that right in the app,
Yeah,
eh?
right in the app,
Mm,
man. And then I can
that's
then
cool.
burn the tokens. And if I check the transactions, you can then, so users who are not able to get the $5 per month can just come here and then burn tokens and get credits. And I feel like, as I mentioned, with getting a lot of users, the impact will be felt on the charts, because a lot of users who would want to engage on this and are seeing the value for what they're using the platform for, there it's going to be very evident on the charts, because a lot of users would want to spend in micro and just get these, because 1,000 is not really so much as per the current price. Yeah, so you can see the proof of burn here.
That is
And we're
pretty
also
cool.
going to
I like
implement
that.
staking. Yeah, we're also going to integrate staking, where you can earn, aside from the reward pool, you could also earn some XPs in the app here.
That's
Nice. I like
actually
that.
pretty
You're right.
nice.
That'll grow with users for sure.
I
For
have
sure,
to
yeah.
ask, how big is crypto in Nigeria? I mean, like I see statistics that it's one of the biggest growth markets for crypto in general, but like, how have you guys found it on the ground? Like, do people outside of kind of the super team crypto community in Nigeria, do they talk about crypto? Like, do normal people talk about crypto, or is it still kind of like just a techie crypto community?
It's like kind of both of them, because at the moment, a lot of people I know are into crypto, because crypto has like given us this like kind of opportunity to better ourselves in our country. And yeah, aside from even just like you mentioned, the tech part of things, there's also a lot of people that do use crypto here, although there's still a lot of stigma around it in my country, because not many people are properly educated about it. But like for the most part, we do have a lot of people, aside from even people that do create apps or do things that have to do with building on chain. There are traders, there are people who, and I think, yeah, like you mentioned, for the most part, it's just people who, a lot of people who just want to better themselves for the society. Crypto has been
Quick,
the number one option for that.
so quick question. With that in mind, I think that was a very interesting fact that you brought out. Good question, Josh. So with that in mind, with crypto kind of being a way for most in your area to better life, this is a key piece of education that a lot of people
Exactly.
would probably
Exactly.
welcome. What's your plan? Like, what are you going to schools? Are you going to like educational facilities? Like, how are you on? What's the plan to like get all of these people that are interested on your platform?
Yeah, okay. Like I mentioned, aside from even just CT, crypto, Twitter, what we're planning to do is, like you just boldly pointed out here, and that's the truth. Our market is not in CT. Our market is people who are not educated about crypto and who don't know anything about these. So we usually, as per from like what we've been able to find out, most of our audience are on TikTok, because you'd always find students on TikTok, on these other social media platforms. And aside from that, I'm also a uni student myself. So I've kind of been doing a lot of growth on that end and getting a lot of feedback from my peers. And I do have a lot of friends. Like I think just in the last 3 months, I've had 40 of my friends that I've onboarded into crypto. And I just always refer them to my app. Yeah, just use this and learn. And so like it'll start from our local communities. Super team, we have super team Nigeria here to always promote us with like partnerships that they have with organizations, like schools and all of that. And then also proceeding to where we get the most of our customers, TikTok and all these other platforms.
Got it. That's awesome, man. I really love the buying from within the app as well as the burn feature, and the addressable market is actually pretty
For
substantial.
sure,
So
man.
look, man, we really enjoy talking about the platform. Seems like you're building something pretty neat here. We'd love to, just kind of keep in contact, see how you guys are scaling over time. And just kind of keep touch and see how this transforms over the next 6, 8, 12 months.
For sure, for sure. Thanks so much for having us, man.
Thanks, David.
All right,
Take it easy, brother.
no
All
problem.
right. Yeah,
Appreciate
sure.
you being on the show.
All
Take
right.
care.
Thanks. You too.
Cool.
How many like apps have we seen that like you can just
Buy a token in
um
app.
well actually yeah, I just thought about it. There are a few out there now. I feel like before it
Yeah,
was
that
really
I
hard,
was
but now
literally
there's a
thinking the
few.
same
I
thing,
think
bro.
Dupe
I was
you
like, yo, it
can.
used to be
Yeah.
difficult to do that, but now everyone's just like, oh yeah, look, I just bought a token in my app.
Yeah, I just remember there was
Yeah,
like
because
Apple.
even the Believe app as well. Yeah.
All right, cool. We got Alex with us. You want to pull up the DGen AI chart?
Finish your thought first,
Yeah,
Josh.
throw
I mean, Dom. Finish your thought first.
Sorry, what were you saying, Joe?
Nah, Dom
No,
was
I'm just saying.
Dom
Yeah,
was
there
saying
was so
something.
many regulations in the App Store. Like a lot of the time, the App Store wouldn't even allow apps with crypto like tied to it to even launch. So
Yeah,
it's
I
really
know.
interesting that you can actually now buy crypto in Apple App Stores and stuff. So nonetheless, yeah. What's the ticker for DGen AI? DGen Gain AI? Do you guys?
Let me check.
Sorry,
I got it. Sorry, I don't have the schedule up because I don't want my computer to lag, so I don't.
DGen
don't
is
have it on hand.
the last one today.
All right,
cool.
here we go. The gain chart actually looking pretty good, man.
So while we're pulling this up,
what's up, Josh?
Yeah, the chart is actually looking pretty solid. The chart is actually looking pretty solid. Nice little bounce. Coming up to an area of resistance. We'll see if we get the continuation. I mean, look, again, charting on micro caps. Look at me LARPing, drawing imaginary lines in my
170K
head.
token,
But
we're
I mean,
out here. That's Friday show.
But hey, you know what? It did
but
have a really nice accumulation range and kind of sat sideways for a while with low volume, and so interest is picking up, which is good to see.
you love to see it. Do we have him on or
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Alex, you with us?
Alex,
Hello, guys.
welcome.
What's going on,
Thank
bro?
you
How
for
you doing?
having me here. Oh, I'm
Nice,
okay.
dude.
It's the evening in here. Where are you from, all of you guys? It's the morning, afternoon.
Afternoon for Chill and I, and Josh, I think as well. Josh is in Canada. We're in the States here. So
Yo, I'm in EST, bro. Yeah. I'm like a
Okay.
4-hour drive from New York. Okay. I think
Josh
something
is
like
in
in
some other
another time
country.
zone. Yeah, come on.
Okay, so
But
you're
what about
good.
you, Alex?
Here it's the evening. I'm French, by the way. So yeah, here it's like 7 p.m., 7:30 also.
There you go.
Nice.
You
got
hear
it.
me right?
Time
Got
to crack a bottle of wine and just enjoy Friday, eh?
Solid. Well, Alex, man, look, really love having you on the show. Appreciate you coming through. I guess the best place to start is just kind of telling us a little bit about yourself and your background. So, yeah, just tell us a little bit about what brought you into crypto, what brought you to this project.
Yeah, so my name is Alex, obviously, and I'm from France. I'm doxed, so I can be easily found. My name is Alexandre Cotrez, and I'm a former software engineer. I worked for a famous bank in France. I don't know if you know it. It's Société Générale, where I spent some years.
Society General, the bank, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
They're huge.
yeah.
SocGen, massive bank.
Yeah, SocGen. Yeah, that's it. And yeah, I'm in IT since I think 20 years or so. I'm 48, so I'm not that young actually. And I've been trading. I think I started trading about the COVID period, 2019, and was not in crypto at the first point. It was like a standard stock trading like Nvidia, Microsoft, and so on. And then I've been interested lately in crypto. I think it was in 2023, 22, and more lately on Solana ecosystem, where I started trading meme coin with no success. I have to. I didn't did well on that, and that's what gave me that idea of bringing something using AI to be able to be safer trading crypto, and that's the former idea of the Gen AI. Along with having, I found out that having multiple interface to trade, you have most likely to have 10 interface to do one trade, because you have to look the bubble map, the chart, the wallet holders, everything. The learning curve is huge. And I thought, yeah, maybe there is some space for a tool that will bring all those services in a single place and hopefully help people to be safer at trading. This is one of the part. In that point, I found the previous guy, it's EduLearn. Is that the correct name?
Yes,
Hello?
sorry, I was muted. Yes, EduLearn.
Yeah, I found it very interesting, and I might contact them privately later on, because I found it very interesting, and that exactly the way I think I would go with the Gen AI. So yeah, that's the origin story of the product.
Perfect. Yeah, dude. Well, you're in a group chat with them, so definitely reach out, make that connection.
So
But yeah,
I guess the
let's see.
best next thing, the best way to go from here, I guess, just talk a little bit about the product. What's the solution you're providing through your product, and tell us a little bit about how you stand out from your competitors.
So that's all for the introduction. So I think I'm done with some stuff.
Yeah, your
connection
super
issue,
spotty.
by the way.
Super
Sorry?
spotty. And in fact, we might have lost you.
You hear me?
Yeah, I think we might have lost him.
I'm hoping
Hello?
the screen share loads though. Hey,
we hear you now. Yep, we hear you now.
Maybe I'll share my screen in the meantime. I think it's.
Let me see if I can do.
Well, you sound good now. Maybe it's just your computer is having too much going on at once. I got the app pulled up here.
You hear me now?
Walk me through it.
Yep, we do.
Okay. Do you hear me now?
Yes.
I think you're not.
We certainly do.
Yeah, you do? Oh my God.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I have some network issue. Okay, so to be like a help for people to start on Solana ecosystem. Still see my screen in there? Yeah. Hello.
We can see it. Yeah.
Oh, great. Sorry, I really
albeit a little fuzzy. We can see your screen.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So, just tell me on Twitter if you don't hear me, so I can do something about it. Yeah. So that's
we'll
the
let
main
you know if we can't
platform.
hear you, but
so
so far you're good.
Yeah. Great. So yeah, this is the main platform. So basically, it's AI agents related platform. So internally, I mean, you would have like 10 or so agents that each does something very specific across the system. So this agent, for example, that I called Walter White, is a with that agent, and by infanting your logo and so on, and doing that all that stuff. You also can buy router, Jupyter aggregator, so it's much more simpler that doing the heavy lifting myself. And you also, for amongst other things, you can trade perps on Jupyter, so you could trade Ethereum, Solana, and Bitcoin through that platform. So that's all in all. That's a common tool. I mean, you can do many things actually. For example, here you have some prompt I did last day. You can see here you can fetch the trend on X for a particular project. So here I did TG metrics. I asked him for telling me, okay, look, is that project is good? And then give you that little summary. And yeah, I think this is a platform which is useful in the sense that you don't have to get multiple tools and being on X and on TG and on the GMGN or Dextrina or whatever the tool you use to trade, and be safe in there. In addition with that, we provide what I called a virtual mode. That virtual mode is something that you can activate, enable, and you will have a full paper trade environment. So it means that you don't trade for real money. You will have then here your wallet with your holdings, and you see that's not real holdings. That use the real market condition, but the SOL in here are not real SOL. So you can practice easily. And this is why I asked for EduLearn thing, because this is really made to help people trading safer and maybe get better at trading. You get me?
We're getting you.
Hello,
We're
do you
getting
hear?
you. You just cut out a bit there, but
Oh, okay. Yeah. Tell me on Twitter, because I know I have a network issue, so maybe you don't hear me and I speaking in the wind. So yeah, that's basically the platform I have in there. So you can even have your wallet breakdown, what you did, and if I disable that virtual mode from here, for example, you will get then another view, which is the real view, which is the real SOL, because I disable the paper trading thing. So it might be a little bit slower because I'm getting transaction on chain and fetching the wallet situation at that point. It's real time thing. So you can get all those transactions you have, and then eventually request an IA to assess your trading practice. For example, you could ask it, well, am I a good trader or not? And it will base his opinion, his mind on your latest transaction you get there. See? So that's about the platform mainly, I think. It does many things. You can trade X stock as well. I don't know if you know this. That's XStockFi.
Xstocks is
So
super cool.
it's tokenized asset. Yeah, and this is what I implemented. I think this since day one, since they released that thing, because I, as told you, I'm like a traditional trader initially, so I know better that thing than any other thing. So you could, for example, go for that Microsoft stock from Xstock and get insights on the real market thing. So I think what lacks in the other platform doing that, like GMGN and so on, have Jupiter also have like Xstock dedicated trading page, but you don't get those insights. What are the I don't know, the analyst ratings, the earnings, and so on. What are the news in here that you can get, and all that kind of stuff. And then query the IA the same way you will do it in that chat, which is the more like common chat you will have. It's like a playground.
Got it. No, really, the platform is definitely one I haven't seen before. So really really like what you're building here, and the X stock feature is pretty cool as well. The last kind of just wrapping up here, last thing I wanted to ask you about was just in regards to token utility, and anything you're excited about. Tell us a little bit about the token utility first. Think we might have a bit of a delay.
More user on the platform.
Can you still hear us, Alex?
I'm going to mount. For now, the application is in the beta stage, by the way. So today, and one of the next step, once I have the V1 out, mount kind of gamification. You say that's PS5, PlayStation 5 trophies in crypto. So you will just have those kind of same thing, like you connect once, 2, 3, 10 times, and then you will earn some token by using the platform. So for example, I could pull out a trophy, which is, okay, you did your first X2 trading a memcoin token. So that's one of the first utilities. So people will be able to earn from that, and it will also serve exchange money platform, because I'm going to implement some advertising systems. So other builders and devs could just advertise their token, for example, in here, other place, and that will be paid service. I want almost free. I don't want to take money from user. I'd rather take it from people that are building a product. But I may charge, and other product will charge, because implementing also that marketplace. So this is a place where the other dev, could pull out some agents with the API, and then it will be instantly available in the chat for the user to use them. So, for example, let's say TG Metrics or IQ or whatever the product is, they can have their own agent in there and start communicating here. What is interesting about that is, for now, all of those agents I have the correct agent
You guys,
for your. So having those partners, yeah. Hear me?
yeah,
Hello?
yeah, you're lagging really bad. We're
Hello?
only getting bits and pieces. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Alex,
Reschedule.
we're gonna have to cut it there. Sorry, man. Someone mentioned that there was an internet outage in France and that 80,000 users are down. So, Bob, thanks for highlighting that. We appreciate that. So,
Maybe briefly, where can people go and find this to get more info? Because I guess
Yeah.
we couldn't really cover all of it because of this connection issue. Where's the best place people can find more info on this?
You can find me on X, and I'd be glad to share more. I will host some space also, and yeah, sorry for that connection, guys.
No worries.
It happens,
No
man.
worries.
Oh,
It
how to say
happens.
that? Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. Well, everyone can go and really get a deep dive from your project on your Twitter and check out your website. But thanks for hopping on, Alex. All right.
Yeah, it's too bad. Look, guys, happens. It
Yeah,
happens.
it's a live show. We're connecting with people across the world, so yeah, that'll happen. That'll happen. Thanks for sharing that, Bob. By the way, Viva News. Let's
Is that
let's
Vivi
see.
or Viva?
I'm
I think
assuming
he means Viva. Viva. He just
I
missed an
think
A
he
there.
means Viva. Abe, do you mean Viva or Vivi?
For sure, Viva, because Viva had news today.
Let me see.
I'll pull it up.
We've never covered Vivi, so I'm gonna go with Viva.
Same.
Here, I'll share my tab. So, can you guys hear?
Yep.
On this note, guys, Viva's rolling out their phase 3. We've talked about their phases. They're in phase 3. This is now, it's time to basically evangelize to the entirety of Bolivia and start getting Viva into their hands. And so they've kind of gone through the steps in the past. Everything's been leading up to this sort of push and rollout they have here. And so now it's time to actually get the entirety of Bolivia using Viva, using their super app. And that's the process they're in as we speak. So.
And to add on to this, when this video ends, I definitely want to share the chart with you guys as well.
Yeah, we're getting to some interesting areas, right?
Remember, this is the only way for 12 million people in Bolivia to access crypto.
The
only way in the country. And I want to say they're one of the very few that can do this on Solana.
Note that Solana logo, powered by Solana there. Like, actually, you do, when you throw logos on stuff, you do have to get some sort of approvals for that.
Yeah, the only way in the country. And I want to say they're one of the very few that can do this on Solana.
Note that Solana logo, powered by Solana there. Like, actually, you do, when you throw logos on stuff, you do have to get some sort of approvals for that.
Yeah, the only way in the country. So yeah, and you know they did have the Solana Foundation at their event, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That was covered as well, right, Dom? And then
At the
Viva,
expo.
yeah, at the expo, and then we saw Solana retweet them on top of that. So obviously, like there is some sort of connection there. And then, like you see on the chart, we're retesting old all-time highs, and we've had this box drawn out like for God knows how long, and we're finally touching the box. This was drawn out when we hit all-time high. We kind of like started to stall out here, and I'm like, well, the best next place to target would be this area right here that we're looking at. Previous all-time highs, couple layers of support here. This should hold up just nice. And once you and based on the news, this is this is kind of prime time for them as they're rolling out phase 3. So really big updates, really big area of support. Those two things go hand in
Yeah,
hand.
yo, Ave, a Battlefield 6 type of weekend. That's right.
Hype.
That's what I'm doing today. In
Love
that
that.
light, you should actually pull up PRGN real quick. I don't know if Paragon's
Let me
getting
see.
any love.
Josh
me
sees
see.
Battlefield 6 and he turns into like a dog chasing a squirrel, bro. He just loves that shit.
Literally. I think PRGN was like at a area of support last time I checked. Oh dang, it bounced a little bit. Very nice. Man, I just love the PRGN chart. Like, I just feel like I love the charting on it. I love everything about this chart. But we keep saying this when we look at the PRGN, the Paragon chart. They've just been ranging here, and when you get to the bottom of the range, this is often the best area to DCA. So they've been bouncing off this bottom level here quite a few times, and we can even see how they did that recently here. So Paragon's looking good. I believe, from what I understand, they have some other updates coming up. I think they just actually put a tweet out. So I'm going to pull this up real quick. Paragon, they put a recent tweet out. And let me see. So 130K downloads. First ICM project ever on Solana to have a listing on Microsoft's store. Around the corner from our next one. So it looks like they have more coming as well. So pretty much nonstop. They also have scalable content pairing with an existing established business model. So they have a lot in terms of marketing and stuff that is coming their way. I did notice recently that they became a partner for ICM.Run, a launch partner. So we have a little bit of Paragon in the ICM treasury. And yeah, so a lot of things happening here. A lot of things happening here. And check out this tweet. Computers with Windows around the world would have PTU powered by PRGN downloaded and used daily. With our apps already published in Microsoft Store and more soon, accessibility will be seamless. So looks like they're working on a lot of things here at Paragon. You guys already know we love the homies at Paragon. They crush it from a content perspective. They crush it from a community perspective. And as you can see from what we just discussed, they're crushing it from a product perspective as well. So still remains a really nice project here. I guess let me open up multi-charts. Let's see.
I want to talk just prediction markets. I think we should go over all those charts today. Lots are looking really good. PNP is looking pretty prime.
PNP.
Flipper is looking really good as a zone. PMX is starting to look good. I know. I really feel like we're on the brink of prediction market season, to be honest.
Yeah, this week, I don't know if you guys have been looking at it. Prediction markets have actually like popped off this week pretty decently. Some stuff like Polyswipe that went up like crazy. Let me pull up that chart real quick and add that to the Poly Market multi charts, because basically Polyswipe. Did I click on the right one? Did I click on the right one? I believe I did.
One you got up.
Let me just go back real quick. Yeah, this is the right one. Awesome. So yeah, Polyswipe yesterday tapped 1.5 mil. So what is Polyswipe? Basically, as you can see here, they have a Google Play store and Android I'm sorry, Google Play and Apple app that they have out. So basically, um, it allows you to access prediction markets in a way that's similar to like TikTok or dating sites, very user friendly. So you're just swiping, and that's why the name of the token is Swipe. You can swipe one way for yes or no on different prediction markets, and it makes it super easy and seamless. And from what I understand, I believe they've integrated both Kalshi and Polymarket. I believe that's unconfirmed though, so you want to double check that for me. What I'm gonna do here is add them to, I'm going to open up their Twitter real quick, but I'm also going to add them to the multi charts so we can keep up with their chart moving forward. I wonder what this BNB section looks like, eh? Let's see. All right, cool. So PQL is adding like a little area of interest here. Looks like it's bouncing off this kind of area. Actually, it's probably worth a box than anything. Boom. All right, cool. So this is probably the next area of interest. I mean, honestly, like it's hard to say that PQL will come down all the way down here. I doubt it. That would be like a pretty high value area there. But
Is that a red box
you know, we
you put
see-
there?
I don't know. I'm trying to see where my red box would ideally go. I personally would put a red box here. This is where I'd put a red box. Boom. That's where I'd put a red box. And actually, let me just go to the 4 hour. Let me see. Yeah, that's where I'd put a red box here. I don't think we get that level below. And I'll say sometime over the weekend we get some of this action over here. So I'll put a snipe there. I'll put a red box there. I think that's where we get a pullback and over the weekend. And I mean, that just depends on if this market wants to continue to range. But again, I don't think we hit. Oh, snap. Bitcoin is at 117.7. Okay.
It's getting bodied.
So yeah, it's absolutely getting murked right now. So I think that's the other thing that we all have to be aware of, right? So let me just pull up the Bitcoin chart to like show you guys a little bit of how I'm coming up with these red boxes, because this plays a big role. So if I were to put a red box on the Bitcoin chart, it would literally be here at this 117 level. And honestly, ideally where we are right now, this is actually where I'd put a red box for Bitcoin. And that's the other thing here is because this box is already getting tapped right now, that means this is due for an area for a bounce. This is a bounce area right here, right in this section. So I say all of that to say if Bitcoin bounces, other things will bounce with it, right? So we want to keep an eye on what the heck Bitcoin is doing. So with that in mind, as we approach this area, though, if it continues to, cut down and goes closer to 117K, we could see things continue to grind lower, right? And so that's why I say I see us getting to, on this PQL chart, I see us getting to this level here, but I really don't see us getting to down to 25K.
That's a solid
I don't see it.
What's
I
the
don't see
range
it.
on that box, just so I can add it to the notes?
Range on the box 27 to 31 mil. Literally, just set limit orders, guys. Just set limit orders. If this is a chart that you're interested in, set limit orders. And I did want to pause right here just to talk to the homies real quick. First off, we had a few people here today from YouTube. We are also expanding our live stream to YouTube. So welcome to the homies from YouTube. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're still here, A King's Mentality. If you're still here, Tien Tran, I know you've been on our streams before, but you love YouTube better.
Yeah, easy regular.
So and then AI Shorts. Appreciate you guys for joining the streams here We stream every single day, Monday through Friday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. So you can count on us to provide you some alpha, some actionable insights here on stream. So speaking of actionable insights, let's get back to prediction markets. We talked about, the billions being invested in big players like a Kalshi, like a Polymarket. So I think that's why some of this stuff has been running. As you can see, OKBet hit the box again yesterday. It tapped the red box again. I'm actually going to bring this in because I think we leave this area at most, the 17th. So this is on the daily. We can even zoom in on the 4 hour. Yeah, honestly, like this box doesn't really get tapped that heavy. It's really only getting wicked into. But again, if we see Bitcoin grind lower, it could kind of push some of these things lower. I'm gonna hold up. I might even be getting a little greedy here, looking for downside. But I think I'm gonna hold this box on OKBet for an entry. But honestly, it's a low cap. It's still under 4 mil. So I mean, in the grand scheme of things, will it matter if this goes to like 100 mil? Would it matter if you're invested at 3 mil versus 3.5? You know what I mean? But just we're just looking at charts here. So that's the levels I'll say is of interest. Let's see what else.
PNP looks really good, I think, from a range perspective. I haven't been keeping up too closely with them, but they're their own prediction market again. So it's like a beta to Kalshi, Polymarket, and PMX, and that's just a nice range, right?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna see if I can draw a box on this as well. Yeah, let's go like that, shall we? Yeah. Let me actually. That's a daily kind of a structure on a higher time frame. Let me go down to like a 4 hour. See what it. Ooh, look at that. It's bouncing off pretty nice. It's bouncing pretty nice. So I don't even think we get. I don't honestly. I'm gonna draw a red box right here. PNP is a pretty. I wouldn't even buy the top of that. I would just. I would wait. For it to come. I would say that's the red box I'll draw on PNP. Just a little above a mil, 1.2 to 1.4 is like an ideal entry. But again, this is below 2 mil. So again, if we're sitting at 100 mil, does it really matter if you buy at 1.2 or 1.5? So it's just I guess I say all of that to say, why are you buying? Consider that. Ask yourself that question, right? Just consider, why are you buying? Are you buying to just kind of play a short-term breakout, on the chart, or are you like buying to say, no, look, I see long-term, I see long-term value in this project, so I'm going to actually invest and I'm going to just hold a bag, right? So I think that's a very important question that you need to ask yourself before entering any trade.
PNP is pretty easy. Just buy at the bottom of the range, basically. Anytime you dip into the lower part of the range,
Yeah.
you just buy, and you'll probably have a really nasty DCA if you can do that.
Yeah. So there you go. Let me see. So PNP, actually, let me just hold on PNP for a second. I'm gonna go to their Twitter and see if there's any whatchamacallit,
Updates.
Real quick. Let's just monitor that real quick. Prediction market DEX. So latest announcement 2 months ago, we logged. Oh, actually, let me share my screen. So I think they did a really good synopsis here on PNP. 2 months ago, we launched PNP, first on-chain AMM. Based on it, a launch pad for permissionless prediction markets built on Solana. Since then, they've expanded into AI. They expanded into markets for YouTube, Solana tokens, real-world events. They provided SDK and X-Agent integration, browser extension, plus coin MCP, low gas fees. They've done a lot. So their next goals, though, I think this is the most important: P2P liquidity model, X-Agent market creation, and liquidity rewards for traders. We're not following trends. We built the rails they'll run on. banger line. I'm not even gonna lie. Good job, PNP intern, whoever you are. But I like this. I gotta dig into this peer-to-peer liquidity model. I don't know how that looks like, but I assume just like the PMX liquidity provision, it being a low risk, um, high reward sort of yield generation angle. I think this could be something like that. So I'm gonna watch for an opportunity such as that. And liquidity rewards for traders. I think that's going to be awesome. And then agent creation on Twitter. I'm assuming they mean natively on X. You'll be able to launch a prediction market. I think that'll be pretty big for users.
I see we have a request here. SPT looks pretty good by Solsteka. Not sure.
Yeah, let me see
There's one at
SPT.
160K. That's what he's looking at.
Let me
Sorry,
see
my
here.
browser crashed. I had too many tabs open. But
It's all good.
hey, I want to ask, just in the sake of asking about stuff. I went on PNP's website and they've only done $4,400 in volume.
And that's why I say like I've been like on record saying this about PNP. I need a little bit more in terms of the user metrics, right? But in their defense, I think that's what this tweet that we just read kind of like solves. X agent market creation. So it's essentially you'll be able to create markets on Twitter, right? So I think that'll be a sort of unlock for users. And he also mentioned some deeper alpha that he said don't really publicize that. He mentioned it on streams. If you want to see it, go back and watch our PNP stream from like a few weeks ago.
I definitely
But I think they could be on.
I liked him. I like the builder. Like I like what he's doing. I just at the end of the day, you got to be able to build a product that scales too. And sorry, not to fund PNP, but like it's on the website, right? Like it's we want.
Well, that's the bet you're always making, right? I mean, can this platform grow? Can it get traction? Can it get user base? That's the question. Same question has to get asked for PNP. Right now, is it there? No, not like
Does
no.
PMX
I'm not even gonna say not really.
publish their volumes at all? I don't know if
I've seen some numbers. They've got pretty good numbers, pretty impressive numbers right now. For being so new.
Okay.
Again, like PNP is just starting off though. Like it's one of those things that no one really gets it until they do, and once they get it, it kind of clicks into high gear. Not saying that that's going to happen, but like same with PMX. PMX kind of had to find product market fit as well, and it got that push from Meteora, got that push from Moby, got that push from a lot of people, which is what's getting it so much volume right now.
Yeah.
But same thing.
Yeah, I
that's
think
the same bet for PMX or PNP.
I think that's the thing that we have to consider though, like backed by, powered by Meteora, backed by Alliance DAO. We see a lot of backers, a lot of people getting involved. So we have to take that into consideration. I think the better question to ask is if PNP got the same backing, how would they stack up? If, kind of even playing field, how would they stack up against something like a PMX? And I think that's the question that you have to ask yourself as a trader. If you're buying this token, you have to ask yourself, we know what the user metrics look like for both platforms now. Is that going to look like in 6 months from now? And is that dependent on backing or is that dependent on something else?
Yeah, so PMX just on this one market, $52,000 on one on Meteora.
Also, you don't even need users or volume. Like the truth is, if the prediction market narrative picks up, like you can have
this one game, Yankees versus Toronto. So
no, they're getting good volume. PMX is getting pretty good.
It's not bad. I haven't checked it, so that's why I was like, let's have a look here. I'm curious what these volumes are, but these not bad. Yeah, 7,000.
Again, but that's all of PNP's volume right there, just on that market. But as I was saying, like honestly, no, like it doesn't even matter how much volume you have. If we get a proper prediction market meta, we've seen more ridiculous things happen. And the truth is, no one actually cares if there's any volume. No one actually cares if there's any users. They just care if you've been building and it looks decent.
Yeah.
If it looks decent and you've been building and you're in the right narrative, it goes crazy. So like is the bet on PNP or is the bet on the prediction market narrative more so? Is another question.
Totally. I
would
mean,
say the latter.
these things can trade regardless, right? Like it can trade away from its fundamentals regardless. But I think at some point the fundamentals will definitely matter with these because
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, you want to look at fundamentals, but you just got to play both sides. At the end of the day, you know, it's like being a trader doesn't necessarily mean being right. You can have a good trade and be wrong about, I guess, the thesis. Like, is PNP a good platform? Does PNP get volume? It might get no volume, but you could still be right on the trade going up. So who knows? These are good questions though. And I agree. Like if we weren't in a prediction market, I probably would like not buy if the metrics weren't top tier. So you have to ask yourself if you're in narrative. If you're in narrative, you can buy with dog shit metrics. If you're out of narrative, you have to have great metrics.
1000%.
Pretty much.
1000%.
Chill, maybe you can cover this. Zappy wants you to check out Luminaries. It was one you were interested in the other day, so I'm not sure if you have any updates on that or.
Let's check out Luminaries, guys. Let's see. I forgot about this one that I mentioned yesterday. Boom. So Luminaries hit 500K market cap. So we called it out about a 115. Hit about 500K. Here's the thing. Luminaries looks a little farmy to me. Looks a little farmy to me, you know, like tops are like just off the price action yesterday. Like it just, there's like 1,000+ holders in, you know, a token that was like only, you know, 115K market cap. And I was like, okay, cool. So, you know, definitely low. I mean, definitely high risk, definitely high risk. You know what I mean? But from what it looks like here, it looks like it actually might get a little bit more traction. So we don't. I haven't checked today. I literally had some stuff to do this morning, and I came right on stream, so I haven't been able to check as far as like what updates or you know if you know anything is being posted. Actually, let me check my if they posted anything recently. I'm tracking CZ. I'm tracking the Luminaries, but yeah, they haven't really posted anything since they posted. They haven't posted anything since. So yeah, I don't think there's any updates. It's just speculation, which again is why I say pretty high risk. So you want to be mindful of that. I think the other thing here is Luminaries. They posted, as you can see, they posted like something called Internet Capital memes. And so that's been something that has been catching a little bit of traction from like a narrative perspective. And so there is another degen play on this, which is ICM. Apparently it's ICM, but it's launched on Pump Fund. And it's called Internet Capital Memes. I'll show you guys this. This is what it is. Internet Capital Memes.
Why did this candle? I actually was just looking at this. It's not Internet Capital Markets, obviously, but memes.
Yeah, no.
Do you know why that candled specifically?
I don't know. I don't know. But it also happened on Luminaries. So I some sort of you know news around the narrative. You know what? Let me look. I'm gonna look at right. You know,
Chill. Close.
there's a trade.
Oh, see, I didn't know if it was me or Chill. I was like,
no, it's who do you think? Who do you think it is? If you were to
Yeah,
put a
good point.
prediction market on it.
Good point, dude. I got pretty bad Wi-Fi though,
Jeez,
so sometimes I
guys.
think it's me.
Nah, Dom was kind of glitching out a little bit earlier.
Oh, true.
Nah, but it's it's just where I am. Like I'm not like booning.
Booning. What's booning?
What are you booning, bro?
I don't know. We lost Chill. Okay, Chill's rendered.
Bill is in farm
Gone.
country. He's
Dude, I don't know, man. Market's just dog water right now. I have nothing to talk about, to be honest.
I'm like going through charts that we've been looking at. I don't see really anything that is overly interesting right now.
I do like. I'll share Flipper, I guess, just to go back to the prediction market thing until we get Chill back. But I think Flipper is at like a pretty good level to probably start at DCA. What's the downside on this? You know, these lows maybe call it 3.25 mil. So I mean a 50% downside. I do like Flipper. I haven't been following closely, so I don't know about what updates they've been making, but I really need to. I really need to go and deep dive all these prediction markets because there's a lot of opportunity there. Polyfactual we had on the other day, again, kind of still in this range. I think it's a decent range to start accumulating. 4.2 mil though, it is a little high. I'm also just pro, just bid the main thing, right? Bid PMX. It looks like it's about to give out and lose floor here, but if it kind of loses strength, I would say 25 mil is like a pretty easy place to start a DCA. Again, it would have to really give up that floor, but I think PMX is doing pretty big things, and they got good volume, as Josh showed earlier. So PMX obviously is a pretty good bid if we get that dip. Polytail trading nicely. I don't know anything about this. Multi-agent AI framework with in-house RAG engine delivering autonomous polymarket intelligence through intelligent Twitter agents. Don't know much about it, but that's a nice chart. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. I don't know, dude. That's
the only
all
I might shut out like Dupe real quick. Decent relative strength. A little dip
Dupe
here.
looks great.
Orgo. I've been looking at Orgo. Orgo's back to 7 mil. It just seems to kind of be consolidating. So some of these kind of look more like they're flagging than anything. So worth
Yeah, no, I agree. ICM in general is holding up really well, but these are some great examples. I mean, this chart looks great compared to you tab over to Bitcoin, which is down 3.3% today. And then, indexes and equities down, 1.5% today. It's kind of crazy that Orgo is actually up on 24 hours. And Dupe's holding really nice. Like ICM's up on the day, right? ICM looks really nice. I love this consolidation here. Where's Dupe? Dupe looks great. Again, after a big run up, you should expect drawdowns, and we see terrible market conditions, yet it's still just ranging. Great sign. So yeah, for sure. I like
Virus
that call, Josh.
too, like worth shouting out Virus again. I think sub 9 right now, or it's near 9 mil. Yeah, there's that box. That's basically a complete retrace from the game, but I mean they picked up $3 million against a $9 million market cap. I mean, that's pretty decent.
This is a great point. Look at the daily chart, all red candles. I think they're going to probably try to protect this floor right around here, if I had to guess, with their $800,000 they have. So I would say like take stabs anywhere in this range, which is sub 9 basically.
I think your downside is
you're right, Josh.
Like, protected on Virus. Like Virus probably is one of the most strongest fundamental and looking charts in the entire ICM space right now. On my watch list, at least. Startup, not one we usually cover because it's a bit more of a meme, but what are your thoughts on Startup? I haven't looked at the chart.
Maybe I'll finish on Virus real quick too. Josh made a great point. This wick right here is pre-game. Game released, Solana tweeted, it got this first candle, little dip, and then continued to candle off the game. So anything down at this point basically is just saying, okay, fundamentals are immensely better now, but we're at a cheaper price. So it's like, even slightly above like here, it's kind of worth that trade-off. Fundamentals have greatly improved. And especially if you get down there, like
3 million in revenue, guys. Price. Like, what do we talk? They made $3 million against a $9 million market cap. And what did can you pull up Tuna's profile real quick? Do you want me to grab the tweet? He said,
I can pull it up unless you have it.
Yeah, I'm just
go ahead.
Seeing if I have it right now. Just give a second here. Where is it? He made go for it.
Imran tweeted about this. Remember, their alliance back too. Their alliance backed as well. So Imran said so much is coming down from the pipe from Believe app. One of the first to build specifically for this meta. Obviously he's talking about Tuna. So interesting stuff. Yeah, I want to find that tweet. Basically, he was talking about how he was living in his mom's house, right? And now he's
No, even different here is this one. So he's basically talking about the phases to re-get kind of the flywheel going. So the next phase for Virus is crystal clear. Finish the development of season 2 for Addicted.fun. Devs are working hard. We're almost there. Drop season 2. Take over crypto Twitter again. Season 2 will be even crazier and more viral because of redacted. What is this word? What is that? Just black boxes, or is there something in there? I don't know. Can't say much yet,
No,
but it's a
nothing in
whole
there.
different game experience. Kick off development of the next title. We're taking every learnings, improving from Addicted, and game bets better and bigger. Repeat this cycle until Virus becomes the biggest game studio in crypto. Virus will lead Solana Gaming super cycle. It's our responsibility.
They had a live space with Solana Gaming yesterday too,
Bro.
by the way.
I think, like, to me, this feels like an evolution of like the of what do you call it? Slot machines. It's kind of like, you know, a little bit of an evolution.
Financialized
Yeah,
gaming,
like-
you're saying, or Virus specifically?
Maybe a bit of both. As like, he just seems like he understands how to build these types of speculative games. So in my opinion right now, like, I think, again, Viva, huge potential to grow. ICN, you know, I think that goes well with more bigger names coming into that project. But Virus is right up there for me.
ICM, yeah, ICM just got a big update too. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah,
I guess we should probably share that.
Yeah, let's pull it up.
But they brought on Stig. They brought on Stig, who's working with Believe as well. As you can see, their chart's getting some interesting traction here. 23 mil, very good, resilient chart in terms of what the market's doing right now. So incredible to see that. But yeah, here you can see, excited to announce Stig as a mentor for ICM.run. Having helped lead Giga from 150K to 960 million market cap, $1 billion. He ran Giga from 150K to $1 billion market cap, which was later listed on Coinbase. Stig brings real proven experience in crypto growth, operations, and token strategy. Coming from a private equity background, so he's done PE before. Stig launched his own fund in 2023. He full ported Sol, so clearly he did well on that trade. Now he wears many hats at Believe app. He's one of the few people that hasn't been fired yet from the Ben Pasternak fire machine over there.
Is that actually
joining ICM
does
to
it
help
say that in the
push
tweet, or is that just you adding that?
No, this is personal opinion.
Okay.
This is personal. And we can't have Stig on, by the way. Josh and I have determined we cannot have Stig on the show because everyone we have conversations with and featured on MCG get
We're
fired.
like the Reaper a
So
little bit.
yeah, big time. So yeah, cool addition there. I'm not sure if that's what's causing the pump. Obviously, Mercy's just goated. He's been crushing with ICM.run. They got Luca Nets coming on soon to talk. I mean,
Dude, someone is like sending 20K, so 14K, 20K, 25K, 22K. Someone's just firing in 20 plus K bullets into this chart right now.
I mean, we're only down 18% from all-time highs, which is pretty impressive. But yeah, dude, they have Luca Nets onboarded. They have like some of the biggest names onboarded. Like, this thing is crazy. It's so
Look at
stacked. They
that.
got OG Protocols, their first incubated project.
Yeah.
ICM.run's lit, dude. Lit.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
It just makes sense. I know Chill has something to say about ICM.run. Let me not even tab off because I know Chill loves himself the AI16Z.
Nah, dude. I actually got a little like thread or post that I'm working on. And it's just like I got a couple comments last night, a couple messages. People are like, yo, what's ICM? Like, I literally have like there are a few builders on ETH, and they're like, yo, like, I see you're really bullish on ICM. I've been building for like on ETH on chain, but like there's like I'm still waiting for the volume to come back. But I want to see what's this ICM thing you're talking about. I'm like, dude, people are still building on Ethereum blockchain. Like, what are we talking about?
Hello.
Like, it's almost like the traders
Crazy, bro.
left and they're expecting them to come back, but they're not coming back anytime soon, bro, if ever, when it comes to actually trading on chain. But no, I don't have anything more to say about ICM.run, man. I think what they're doing, obviously, which we say all the time on these streams, it's like this is the bet on ICM. Why? Because if you're an ICM project, you want to have exposure in some way, shape, or form to ICM.run, whether it is their NFT collection, their network, just from a project founder builder standpoint. You want to have exposure to their network, their treasury. You want to drop some tokens in their treasury. You want to, get some FaceTime with some guys that are involved with ICM.run. I mean, their mentor list is fire. Their launches are fire. Dom mentioned OG Protocol. Like, everyone is coming to ICM.run because it is the place to give your project the best chance at success. So in the words of the boy Mercy, I love a little shakeout, bullish shakeout.
Bullish shakeout. Let's go. I also want to just kind of compare ICM.run real quick, because if ICM.run was a launch pad, this would probably be trading at like 100 mil right now. Look at Believe's at 130 mil, but ICM, I would argue, is probably going to onboard / incubate better projects than we're going to see on Believe, some of which will trade on Believe. But if ICM.run was a launch pad, it'd probably be a lot higher. So I would start valuing ICM as a launch pad rather than an incubator. Obviously, they're not a launch pad, but the fact that they're going to have stake in some massive companies, OG Protocol being the first obvious sign that they're going to have great companies launching on there, like, you really got to take that in perspective. What can this blossom into? And so you see MetaDAO's at 130 mil. You see Believe's at 130 mil. Well, I think it's not crazy to say that they should be valued relative to that.
So guys, I got another tweet. I want to show you guys. I got another.
This guy's opening his draft folders up. It's like,
dude,
hey,
I love doing that on stream, bro, because I think it kind of like just makes content creation a little bit more real. Like, who's like seeing name your biggest credible crypto? Who's seeing his draft tweets? Who's seeing him like come up with a draft tweet? You know what I mean? But
it's funny, you were reading my mind here. I just named the exact 3 that you have on this tweet. That's kind of crazy.
No way. So I love this sort of like angle when it comes to ICM, just having some broad exposure, like who can really lead the ICMs, like an ICM season, if you want to call it, but who's really at the top side of this sector. And that's really the focus of this tweet. It's not even done. Like, I still have the rest of this thing to write out. I don't even know if I'm going to put this at that part or at that part. I don't even know yet. But what I do know is this. If you are new to this sector, it's always good to have exposure to the underlying infrastructure. From a positioning standpoint, the best place to start is ICM, Meta, and Believe. So the question is, like, is ICM.run infrastructure? Yeah, it's not a launch pad. It's not. But what it is, in my opinion, it's more like, yeah, like, it's not like tech, but it's infrastructure, bro. It's infrastructure. It gives builders what they need, and Web2 founders what they need to come into this space and be successful. So, but yeah, like I think this is the best place to start, and we have to start thinking about and considering, what the impact of all these other players will be. Launch on SOAR. I think they're on to some really nice stuff over there at SOAR. Same thing with Street. I think Street and Maya, they're onto some things there, and then you might even have a sleeper in ZC, in Z Combinator. So either way, like, I just think there are too many players coming into this space, not looking to just like be a launch pad and like take liquidity out of the ecosystem. It's really like, hey, no, we're bringing new capital, new builders, new everything. And now that everyone's left to BNB and, this kind of on-chain vibes that we have on Solana is like everyone is lost. How about we just replace all those people with new builders, new capital, and then we have like everyone that's been trading on Believe and everyone that's interested in utility come and join us as well. So yeah, I think that's massive. And there's a tweet actually that I wanted to share with you guys in connection to this. And let me pull that up real quick. Let me pull that up. So it was, and I think I might actually have a project for you guys too. I don't know if you guys want to share that. But I see Cryptic, bro. Me and Cryptic also are kind of confluence on this. And his ICM trio is the same thing. Now, a little background on Cryptic. He's an ETH OG trader, right? Like we used to trade ETH utility and stuff like that. So to see him kind of switch and like for us to be in the same place, because I haven't really like kept up with him as much as I should. But seeing him like, trading on Solana now, and here we are both kind of like realizing that Toli and Solana are fully behind ICM, right? We're fully behind ICM. They want serious builders in this space. They want serious traders that aren't just, cabals and vamping. And the key came to the same conclusion. Q4 is ICM season, and these are the top 3, right? So yeah, I really like this. I really like this take on it. I think it puts it all into perspective. At least it did for me.
There might even be just like now that the Solana ICM LARP is on the trending on Dex Screener, just the narrative gets a lift. So, but yeah,
absolutely. We were talking a lot about these yield generating protocols. I forgot, what was the name of the meta you dubbed that? What was the name?
I call it the systematic trading meta because I feel like a lot of these are systematic trading strategies. But yeah, maybe show PNP real quick. I don't know who's on stream, but Dom, you want to throw PNP? Do you have it on your?
I'm throwing it up right now.
Someone, I don't know if it's from our stream or MCG Motion, but man, this thing is they like Dom's speech. They like Dom's speech. I don't know. Or is there an announcement? Are we missing
Holy
something?
moly. Yeah, are we missing something here? What a candle.
Jesus.
What a candle. Who's
That red box, bro.
twapping
The
this
red
thing?
box area.
Left the red box behind, bro. Dude, 21K, 22K twop on PNP 5 minutes ago. Talk about MCG got motion, baby. Let's go. That's
Talk about
crazy,
MCG
man.
got motion, baby. 54% an hour. Yeah, but do.
That's crazy. PNP is looking prime, G. Primed. Love to see it. Love to see it.
You said you had a project you wanted
let's
to wrap
see.
with. I'm not sure if you just hit that already, but Viva's
Um,
looking pretty good from like a starting to consolidate, or like I would like to see consolidation here and then kind of start the next leg up. I think that's one that's pretty nice looking.
that red box,
Oh,
baby.
red box.
That red box. That thing is ticking. That thing is ticking. Let me look at the lower time frame here. Yeah. Nice little bounce in the red box.
Yeah, I just want
nice little bounce there.
Viva Bolivia users to like just buy $100 million worth of this. That would be phenomenal. And remember,
Josh, that's a great
Facts.
point, actually. Josh, I would love that.
yeah,
too.
remember,
Why don't the Believe?
remember, 50% of this is locked up. So
Crazy.
Isn't that
ain't
crazy,
it?
bro? This thing is 3.5 million, bro. 3.5 million market cap, dude. One of the largest companies in LATAM and dominating Bolivia right now.
like Bolivia's big,
Opening up $1
but
million
if they
in
turn that
inflow.
on, let's say they turn that on in like Mexico and they have motion in Mexico, bro, people in Mexico would send this. Just saying.
I think it's just hard for people to speculate on
It
this, right?
is.
Like it's not. It is AI, it is data, but it's not like prediction markets or computer use agents or something new, like something like that. So that I think that's why it's kind of holding it back. But realistically, bro, like it's so funny when you know about this project to see it at 3.5 million valuation. It's just like, dude.
And I think that's the thing, right? Like, this is one of the examples of it doesn't really matter what meta, like when you take into consideration the supply and demand dynamics that's going on, it doesn't matter. The price will force its way up. Like price has to accommodate, especially if there's going to be demand for this token. So yeah, I think this is one that, hey, it doesn't really matter the meta. This is bound to go up regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially if we can trace the buys on chain. So, I just it's one of those that you could wake up one day and people in Bolivia wake up and start buying Viva tokens, and all of a sudden it's
Then
much
boom.
higher. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we don't have to cover the project I was thinking about. It was actually like like AI yield generation project, but nah, we'll leave it for another day. It's not even on Solana anyways, so yeah. literally I'm like, nah, we'll leave it for another day. Cool.
All right, wrap it
We'll
there.
wrap it there.
Let's wrap it there. Look, appreciate you guys for coming on, man. Really appreciate the love. If you let me share my screen so we can talk a little bit about MCG. Really appreciate the love. 3,800 followers. I mean, this account started like, this account started so low, it's not even funny. This account started at like 500 or something like that.
No,
like when we
it was
first
like a dead account with like 180 followers that I had lying around. I just didn't want to
And-
start at 0. That's all. I just didn't want to start at 0.
And here we are. Like this is where we came from, guys. This is where we came from. 500 followers back in the day. We posted this on August 6th, and like, look at us. 2 months later, we're absolutely booming. You know what I'm saying? We have certified MCG logo, banners going crazy. We have 3,800 followers. We have the hottest ICM show on X live every single day during the week at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. So with that being said, hopefully it's been a great show for you guys this week. Stay up to date with what we have coming. Next week, we have a few live guests that we are going to announce a huge schedule for. So definitely want to follow the main account at Microcap Gem Show. Follow each of our hosts as well, both Chill, myself, Josh, and Dom. We post individually insights on the market. Josh had a massive Galaxy call that's been absolutely ripping ever since then. Dom has really good insights, really good takes on ICM markets, trading, etc. And then you have myself as well. I post a little light something. But either way, follow all of us, follow the main account. We'll see you guys here next week on Monday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. And before we go, I'm gonna refresh the screen.
Are you gonna follow the account or what, bro?
I'm gonna refresh the screen because as you can see, I follow the account, so you should too.
Oh, thanks,
All right,
Appy.
guys.
Love from MCG from India. Hey, guys, we love it. The mission is to take this to like 30,000 followers by the end of the year. Just to note that. So,
man, Kish said
we don't do it for
38K.
just vanity metrics either, guys. We do it for your bags. We're doing it for your bags.
Literally.
We're doing it for vanity metrics, boys. See ya.
All right.
Oh my god.
We just want 30K followers.
Yeah.
And then we're done.
See you guys.
No.
Peace.